In this video, I'll be going over what filters are available and how they can be used to isolate properties that match what I'm looking for. You'll find filters by clicking on the filters button at the top of the screen located next to the search bar and My Searches and Sync Search. Once you've done a geographic search, I'm doing in this example Miami-Dade County, Florida, there's over 927,000 properties. I can click the filters button to begin to narrow down that criteria. Within the filters button, you will find several categories such as quick lists, owner information, property characteristics, MLS info, pre-foreclosure and bank-owned, liens, bankruptcy, tax delinquencies and pre-probate, value and equity info, and mortgage information. All of these categories have several filter options within each category. By applying each of the filters, you can get down your list to get a more fine-tuned list criteria. The filters are used to narrow down your search results to match specific criteria you're looking for, so you're only getting the leads you want. Keep in mind, since PropertyReach provides services to a lot of industries, not every filter will be relevant to you. When using filters, you want to think about key situations that may make a property owner more likely to respond to what you are trying to offer. So let's get an example. Let's say I'm an investor and I'm looking for properties that are more likely to sell. So I'm targeting Miami-Dade County, and again, there's 927,000 properties. That's a lot. I want to narrow it down to things that I'm looking for. So I want to target single-family homes. That narrows down my search criteria. I then want properties that are at least 3 bedrooms or more in size. I apply that as a filter. I now would say I only have about $500,000 to spend, so $500,000 is kind of my max. I want to go to value and specify that I don't want anything over $500,000. Now, perhaps I've got this specifically to the properties that I want, and there's now 57,000. I want to start thinking about what about these make it likely to sell. Nothing now, but as I start to apply key filters like senior owners, this is just one example, but let's just say I'm looking for people who are at least 55 years older. They'd be more likely to sell. That just because they're, 55 years older doesn't make them likely to sell. But maybe the fact that they have owned the property for 10 years or more increases that likelihood to sell, because the person who's owned it longer is more likely to sell than a person who just bought it. Now let's look at, since we're talking about senior owners and 10 years of moral ownership, let's say that the property is 2,000 or more square feet. So these are senior people who may not be able to get into all the rooms that they have, or maybe they have too much space due to downsize. So that gives me down to 171 leads. Now, let's say that I want to make sure that this is an easy transaction or an easy discussion, that I want to make sure that these properties are free and clear. So I can go into mortgage information and specify I want free and clear property owners. Now I've got my list down to 61 leads that are exactly what I'm looking for to market in Miami-Dade County. Again, the property is 3 bedrooms or more, worth less than $500,000. The property is free and clear. It's a single-family home. They are senior owners of 55 years or older, and the property is over 2,000 square feet, and they've owned it for over 10 years. So this is my list of 61 properties. Now, depending on the type of marketing I might want to do, I might want to add some additional filters. So let's just say that I wanted to do a calling campaign, and I want to make sure every single one of these people had a phone number available. I hit include, and of the 61 leads, 31 of those I actually have phone numbers for. Maybe I want to do a texting campaign, so I need to have a mobile phone number available. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now I've got my list down to 30 results. Now let's say that I want to do an email campaign only. I can apply that and get only the records that have an email campaign of that are an email address available to it. So now that's 25 properties I can now market to. I can also include them all. That way I can do some direct mail, some email, some phone calls, some texting. It gives me a wide range, but I have my perfect 61 leads that match exactly what I'm looking for of senior owners who live in a house that may be too big for them. Once I have that criteria, I can simply, generate and build my list. So save properties, create my list of Miami-Dade County, senior owners, and now I've saved my list. Thanks for watching and happy searching.